you feel like King Kong again. You're like, I can't believe you just have all this firepower at your fingertips. These guys are harming my guys, they're hurting them, and now I'm just going to make them go away. And you're just like, what do I want to select? And what makes sense for this tactical situation? And then you just do it, and guns go quiet, and everyone's happy.
Let's talk about your first kill in the A-10. We talked about it in the drone. Let's talk about it here.
Okay, so we're supporting this this troops in contact over by, I want to say, Fob Right, again up in northeastern Afghanistan, kind of north of Nixon's nose on the border. And so we report to this tick, check in, give them our loadout, our time on station, and start getting the dope on what's going on in the ground situation. And as soon as we show up, there's like these little birds, or sorry, not little birds, the Kiowas. Those they shoot like they're tiny little helicopters, and the pilots are such badasses. And so they're out of munitions, and they're like shooting it out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're shooting. They're in like M4 out the door. They're like straight up cowboys. They're in a firefight. Like I'm overhead watching these guys like shoot it out, and he's like shooting his mag dumping out the door at this enemy fighting position, and we get him on the horn, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna put a 500-pound bomb right on it, right? But I got to get them to move away. And they're not having it because they're just shooting it out with these guys, man. That's what they want to do. That's what they wanted to do. I mean, I have so much respect for those guys. Like they just get in the mix. But anyway, finally, it was real basic. I fixed the enemy position, got them outside of the bomb frag range, so like a safe distance, and they just came in medium altitude and put a 500-pound bomb and silence the guns.
I'll bet that would do it.
Yeah. And then there were quite a few more employments on that trip. It was pretty active at that time.
How did that feel compared to the drone?
Yeah, and it's just like, like I said, the tasks were very similar. Like, hey, you got to get in bomb range. You got to be flying a specific heading and airspeed. You got to get in the window, pickle the bomb off and laze it into the target. So the tasks were very similar, but the in this case, it was a GPS guided bomb, so it just went to the coordinates. But it just, when you're physically there in the firefight, it makes a difference. Yeah. It just, you feel like King Kong again. You're like, I can't believe you just have all this firepower at your fingertips. And then, these guys are harming my guys, they're hurting them. And now I'm just going to make them go away, and you're just like, what do I want to select? And what makes sense for this tactical situation? And then you just do it, and guns go quiet, and everyone's happy.
What about have you ever flown a mission where you went Winchester? Winchester, for the audience, means out of ammunition.
I never did in theater. I may have gotten pretty close. I've never been in a situation where I needed bullets. I've gotten close to being Winchester, but I don't think I fully emptied the gun.
Well, let's talk about that specific moment in time.
Yeah, so it's like all these situations are very similar, because that's basically what we do. And in this case, I think it was like we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and we're seeing muzzle flashes from a tree line, but you can't really pinpoint the point of origin. You're just like, I know that's an enemy position, and they're ambushing these friendlies who are pinned down. And you might want to there's a whole variety of factors on weapon selection. Like you might not want to put a bomb there because of collateral damage concerns. Again, there's just so many factors of what you decide. But in this case, we're like, let's just strafe the tree line until these guys can break contact and keep moving. And so Wingman and I just kind of set up like, we call it like a race car pattern to ship, and just did multiple passes on this tree line until pretty quickly they broke contact and blasted out of there. So yeah, this is like more like suppressive fire at this point.
Which weapon system do you like utilizing the most on the A-10?
It's got to be the gun.
The gun?
Yeah, and then second would be Maverick missiles, but the gun is awesome.
Can you talk about that? Another experience?
Yeah. So it was funny. I was flying with Carl, this legend, and like, at this point I'm like, I think I'm a major. He's a lieutenant colonel, but he's such a legend that I'm like, okay, I don't want to embarrass myself, So I'm acting like a lieutenant, and then he's like a general officer or something, like, sir, how do you like your coffee? like, hey, we get to fly together. I just don't. I don't want to lose his respect,
Yeah.
So he's like just professional all the way down. Very little expression. Here's our mission. Here's what we're doing. I'm flying on his wing, and we're going to support an infill, and it's at night now, and we're out there, and he needs gas, so he goes to the tanker, and then this thing just pops off with him gone. And he's like, damn you, pork chop, wait for me. I don't know if he actually said that, but you could tell he's like, where are you at? What's going on? Like he's just like, he's getting to the tanker and wants to get back as fast as he can, because he hadn't shot a laser Maverick yet on that trip, and he hadn't had the opportunity to. So anyhow, I knew that because we had talked about it. And I'm like, I know exactly what we're going to do. Like, I'm going to set up this attack. And the ground commander requested laser Maverick for this particular target. And I just set it up to where he rolled off the tanker. And then I was wheeled up around the target. And then he just came in, got a good spot on the laser energy, got it within proper range, rifled off the Maverick, and then I provided the terminal guidance, and we crushed the target, and then came back around and strafed the follow-up targets together. So,
damn,
it was like it was awesome.
That's badass, man.
Oh, and then on the way back, Carl, now it was so cool because now we're like best buddies. He's like, pork chop, that was awesome. He dropped the stoic warrior for just a few minutes.
That's awesome, man. No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.